And we have more breaking news coming in here, how the SSC scam probe continues to haunt Mamata Banerjee's aide. Now remember, this is with regards to the Enforcement Directorate's raids at the residence of TMC Mantri Partha Chattopadhyay in connection with the SSC scam probe. Now we have picked up details and a press release of the same, and it says, and I quote, the Directorate of Enforcement Directorate is carrying out search operations at various premises linked to recruitment scam in the West Bengal School Service Commission and West Bengal Primary Education Board. We're also picking up more details on the recoveries made during the searches if we go by this press release closely. And Tamal is joining us to take us through the details. Yes, Tamal.
Right, what you're learning from Enforcement Directorate sources that 20 crores as cash money have been recovered from the residence of one individual who is known to be a close associate of Partha Chattopadhyay. Now, Partha Chattopadhyay is the former education minister, and his house has been raided by Enforcement Directorate in the morning. Just not Partha Chattopadhyay, the house of the present MI's minister in charge and a junior minister in the education department, Paresh Odhikari, his house too has been raided by Enforcement Directorate. That apart, 13 places overall across the state have been raided by Enforcement Directorate, and all in connection with alleged recruitment scam, irregularities in giving out job under SSC. Now, what you have been given to understand by Enforcement Directorate, that 20 crores have been recovered from the premises of one individual who is known to be a close associate of Partha Chattopadhyay. The amount is now suspected to be the proceeds of crime of the said, SSC scam, the alleged scam.
Yes.
Now, the team had also managed to recover multiple mobile phones from the residence of that said individual. Now, we have to now wait and see as what would be the further procedure on part of Enforcement Directorate. Will there be any arrests made, and which way the investigation would go forward? Mind it, Partha Chattopadhyay has so far cried absolute innocence and called it nothing but political vendetta. But the recovery of this money from a close associate of Partha Chattopadhyay, will Enforcement Directorate find a direct link between the money and Partha Chattopadhyay? We have to wait and see, but the recovery of the money has only made it extremely significant as far as the SSC investigation is concerned.
Yes, though Partha Chattopadhyay has called this political vendetta, Tamal, this is a big amount, 20 crore rupees recovered from the residential premises of a certain person who is a close associate of Partha Chattopadhyay. And if we get into further details, as per the statement, a number of other incriminating documents, records, details of dubious companies, electronic devices, foreign currency and gold have also been recovered from the various premises of people linked to the scam. Tamal.
Well, that's right. Mind it, the Enforcement Directorate had been conducting parallel raids in connection with the alleged SSC scam. Now, these raids happened at various places. As I said, Paresh Odhikari is the present-day junior education minister of the state. His house has been raided. And who is he? He is the present-day education minister, junior education minister. The allegation against him had been that he had given job to his own daughter. Now, his own daughter, who managed to find a job in SSC, did not score as high in order to surpass others who were ahead of her. So there was a clear indication of conflict of interest, and that's the reason the court had pulled up Paresh Odhikari in absolute unequivocal manner. But when it comes to the Enforcement Directorate raids, the Enforcement Directorate had conducted raids at 13 places specific to this particular case. As you rightly said, several incriminating documents, electronic devices, gold have been recovered from these places which were raided. Now, one particular individual from whose house 20 crores of cash money had been recovered by Enforcement Directorate. He is known to be a close associate of Partha Chattopadhyay. Now, the relationship, the equation between the said individual and Partha Chattopadhyay has not been elaborated by Enforcement Directorate as yet, and the Enforcement Directorate has not yet confirmed whether the money which has been recovered, the cash money which has been recovered from the said individual, has any direct connection with Partha Chattopadhyay. What is being suspected that this money, which had been kept in huge number inside the house, could be proceeds of the crime. What is the crime? The crime is the alleged SSC scam. So at this point in time, given the fact that CBI is investigating the SSC alleged scam, given the fact that Enforcement Directorate having found some conflict of interest involving money and money trail had also gotten into the investigation, Enforcement Directorate, after having done done their own homework and research, had laid down a massive crackdown and multiple raids across the state, including the house of two ministers. The Partha Chattopadhyay, who is the current minister and who had been the former education minister in Mamata Banerjee's cabinet, and also Paresh Adhikari, who is the present-day junior education minister. So all these premises have been raided. Now multiple things have been recovered from the said individual from whose house 20 crores have been found. From the same person's residence, no less than 20 mobile phones have also been allegedly recovered. That's what you have been picking up from the ED sources. And that's what makes it very interesting. Why would one individual need so many mobile devices? And if those mobile devices have been used for any kind of communication pertaining to a crime, which they wanted to keep it absolute covert. So at this point in time, yes, the Enforcement Directorate investigation has begun, and they possibly had laid down their hands on something.
All right, I'll come back to you. We have BJP MP Dilip Ghosh joining us on the phone line. Mr. Ghosh, this is big development that has taken place in the SSC scam case. We are being told of the raids that the Enforcement Directorate was carrying out from one of the close aides of Partha Chattopadhyay. 20 crore rupees in cash have been recovered, sir.
देखिए, जब से ये पूछताछ शुरू हो रही है, टीएमसी की तरफ से जबरदस्त विरोध जताया गया था। आज उनका एक मंत्री की तरफ से स्टेटमेंट आया, अगर हमारा कोई कार्यकर्ता बीमार होता है शारीरिक मानसिक रूप से, हम सीबीआईडी को नहीं छोड़ेंगे। कल भी उनकी जो भरी सभा थी, वहां से सीबीआईडी को धमकी दिया गया कि हम नहीं डरते आपसे। और आज जब कार्रवाई शुरू हुई तो इस प्रकार रिकवरी हो रही है। पूरा बंगाल के लोग दुखी हैं, इतना भ्रष्टाचार है वहाँ प्रशासन में और राजनीति में, तो बंगाल के लोग अपने में शर्मिंदगी दिखा रहे इसके चलते। इसीलिए जैसे कि नारदा शारदा का लगभग 80,000 करोड़ का स्कैम हुआ है, अभी तो कुछ भी प्रमाणित नहीं हुई है, लेकिन कोर्ट में लोग गए तो कोर्ट के आदेश से ये सब इंक्वायरी हो रही है। मुझे लगता है कि ये तो केवल मात्र शुरुआत है, और भी कुछ होने वाला है। टीएमसी के मंत्री और सारे नेता के घर में अगर छापामारी हो तो ऐसे करोड़ों रुपया जब्त होगा।
Thank you, Ghosh, for speaking to us and sharing that perspective. That's all we have in this edition of News Viewers. A big political development that is taking place on this very issue as well, parallelly. For the moment, it's a wrap from me, Kritsween Walia, and my colleague Swati joins you on the other side with the big debate.